Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of BNEWS Sports Hub. I'm your host, Anthony Matos. Happy New Year! This month we had the Red Hot Boys varsity basketball team in. We'll have a conversation with head coach Phil Connors and captains Eric Sekyaya and Cedric Rodriguez. We'll also have our player spotlight and our Red Devil review. That's all right here, right now, in this month of BNEWS Sports Hub. To jumpstart our discussion, we'll offer you a little refresher of the team. We go to BNEWS Sports reporter Robert Paris for the Red Devil review.
Hey everyone, I'm Robert Paris, and this is your Red Devil review. Everyone has their eyes on the boys basketball team, who are once again showing dominance in the Middlesex League with their impressive win streak and talented athletes. Under sixth-year coach Phil Connors, the Devils have made the playoffs 5 consecutive years in the Connors era. Burlington finished the 22 season at 15-5 with wins over Stoneham twice, Watertown twice, Melrose, Chelmsford, Wakefield Memorial twice, Wilmington twice, Arlington, Belmont, Woburn Memorial, and Malden. The team is hoping to continue the streak at the end of the season. We have a recap on how the team did in the playoffs in 2022. It was a great playoff run by the Burlington Red Devil basketball team when it came to a heartbreaking close. The Red Devils were ranked as the number 3 seed in the MIAA Division II tournament this year and had 3 home playoff games. The first round was against the Charlestown Middies, and it came down to the very end as the team won 72-71.
Ellis has it. Finding Mahoney. Mahoney's got it. 7 seconds. Mahoney inside. Rodriguez rejected.
In the second round, it was a nail-biting finish as the Devils won by 3 over Longmeadow, 61-58.
Longmeadow just trying to find somebody open. Finds number 24. Number 24 has got it. Back to number 3. Number 3 loses the ball. Can't put it up, and that's it.
During the quarterfinals, the team had a one-sided affair against Holyoke, 88-62. Burlington headed to the Final Four on March 15th at Worcester State University, where they met the Norwood Mustangs in the semi-round. Not even 4 quarters could decide a winner as both teams went into an overtime period.
He will put it in. Tie game.
The outcome for the Devils was not what they were hoping for, as they lost by 3, 66-69.
Sekaya's got it. Turnaround 3. No. Norwood is off to the state championship.
Head coach Phil Connors is proud of how far his team has come this season.
Yeah, a playoff run at home. We're obviously a better team at home. We're really hard to beat at home. On the road, where we weren't as good. No one is. The playoff runs were great. We played better. We executed better at home. We didn't play well tonight, but it is what it is. Yeah, it was a great regular season. Fun every minute. There's never 1 minute I wasn't. It wasn't the most enjoyable season ever. The kids are just the best. We had a great year. We never had a game less than the most we lost by all year was 6 points. We never had a dud. We played great all year. I'm just so proud to be their coach.
He also mentioned about the 4 seniors that will be leaving this team and how they will be sorely missed.
Shane's irreplaceable, Logan's irreplaceable, just a bunch of great kids, and I couldn't be more proud to be their coach. I'm so sad to see Shane and Logan and Ryan and Barcott leave. They're just an amazing class. We lost Aiden Oliver, we lost another starter at the beginning of this year. We still get here. They're unbelievable.
And we wish you all nothing but the best in the future. From Worcester State University, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Sports. 5 seniors and starters have departed from last season, including Shane Mahoney, Logan Shula, Brian Compiano, Ryan Vinu, and Barcott Ziohanis. 6 returning starters from the season have returned, including Aiden Hayes, Eric Sekyaya, Cedric Rodriguez, James Ellis, Jaden Brom, and Donatas Tagua. The team had 5 newcomers join the roster this season, including foreign exchange student Ben Poehler, whose dad, Greg, was a Red Devil captain and a 1992 alum. His dad's senior year, the Devils secured their first Middlesex League Freedom Division title. As of this taping, the team is 8-1 to start the year with wins over Winchester, Stoneham, Reading, Malden, Tewksbury, Lexington, Watertown, and Arlington. Burlington's only loss so far was against Leominster. To recap on what has been happening on the court with the athletes, we will take a look at the top scorers this season. Junior Cedric Rodriguez had 15 points. Behind him was Jaden Brom at 14 in his debut as a Red Devil. Ben Poehler had 11 points in the season opener against Winchester. Up next was the Stoneham Spartans. Rodriguez led the way again with 35 points, Brom with 13, Poehler with 11, James Ellis had his first points of the season with 11, and Eric Sekyaya first points of the season with 18. Against Reading, Poehler had 18, Rodriguez and Sekyaya both had 14, and Ellis with 11. In the team's loss against Leominster, Rodriguez had 15 points and Poehler with 10. In addition to the regular season, the team went to Tewksbury for the Tony Romano Christmas tournament during the holiday break. In the first round against Malden, Cedric Rodriguez gave a gift of 20 points, while Ben Poehler had 10 points. In the final round of the tournament, the team competed against Tewksbury, where Eric Sekyaya had 24 points, James Ellis with 26, and Rodriguez with 12. In their game against Lexington, Cedric Rodriguez had 26 points, Sekyaya with 20, Ellis with 11, and Poehler with 9. In the latest game against Watertown, Rodriguez added 21 points, Sekyaya 13, Brom 10, Rodriguez 17 points, Sekyaya 14 points, and Poehler in the game against Arlington. According to the Boston Globe, the team sits on top of the Middlesex Freedom Division. Behind them is Wakefield at 6-1, followed by Watertown at 3-3, Melrose 4-5, Stoneham 2-6, and Wilmington at 0-9. As the win streak continues, the Devils are looking to make further into the playoffs with the talented team they have this season. And that is all for your Red Devil review. I'm Robert Paris. Back to you, Anthony.
I'm here with Coach Phil Connors. Coach, how are we doing today?
Good. How are you, Anthony?
We're good. Just talk about last season. How that went down.
Last season was a great season. Looking back now, easier to look back on as a whole. The pain of that last game still hurts, but anytime you're in the Final Four, Division II teams of the state, you're in a great place. We get one stop with 19 seconds to go, and we would have been in the state final. I still look back on mistakes I made in that game that could have possibly, I could have called the timeout in overtime when we went up 4, and you relive those mistakes. And but just an amazing group that one of the best teams in Burlington High history, and an absolute pleasure the entire year.
How was the team bounce back from that loss?
The guys in the off season, I think it was less of a bounce back, but more of something to spur us. Off season was great. Kids worked really hard. We knew we had to replace Shane and Logan, which is almost irreplaceable as far as how good a player. Shane's one of the best players I ever coached in 20 years. Logan had an amazing senior year. We knew we were replacing a lot, and we knew the kids had to work hard in the offseason to replace that type of production. And they did work hard in the offseason to get better. So,
how has the team been doing this season?
We're 7-1, but we have not hit our stride at all. We've won games that I think we should have won by more points. We haven't put 32 minutes together. We're still struggling as far as this is probably the first year that there was some little buzz beforehand. There's a newspaper in the article, newspaper in the Boston Globe about us and our team, and maybe we were hearing some of those things as opposed to other years. No one was talking about us or our players. This year we're a little bit more of a known commodity. I think we're getting everyone's best shot. And frankly, we got to be better. We're 7-1, but nowhere near where we need to be in March.
What have you seen from the team this year?
It's a great group of kids. We're working hard. We're just something missing right now that I think we think back to last year, and I think of the team that we were in March, and we forget the team we grew to be. So right now, I'm trying to compare us to last year at the end. We're nowhere near that. So. I think we're showing signs of getting better, but we know we need to get where we want to go. We got to be much, much better than we are right now.
Just talk about the captains that they've been doing this year.
Our captains are Eric Sekyaya. Eric's a 4-year player for me. He's been in the gym for 4 years with us. He's a 3 sports star in the school. His freshman year, he might have been 90 pounds and 4'8", but you could see how much he loved basketball. So I remember putting him on the team and people saying, you got like a 7th or an 8th grader on your team in there. I said, no, you could see that he had the love, and I knew how much he'd work. He's highly intelligent on the court. Leads by example. He's a tough kid, plays way bigger than his size. We'd be lost without him. He's been an amazing captain. He didn't miss anything in the offseason, despite the fact that he's got 2 other sports that he's fully committed to, and a superstar in those sports as well. I'm going to be terribly sad to see him go. Other captain is Cedric Rodriguez, my first junior captain in my 13 years as a varsity coach. I haven't had a junior captain. He's earned that right. It's almost always a senior. It's always been a senior for my teams, but Seti, midway through, so I'm going to see how much he's put in, the growth he's made as a player, how he conducts himself around school, the way he leads. The best way to lead is by example. You want to work hard. Talking is too cheap. The work you put in filters down, and Seti could be the best player ever in the history of Burlington. If after 4 years, even though he lost half a year of COVID, he's on track to be maybe the all-time leading scorer here. And he's an unbelievable captain, and couldn't be in a better spot with our 2 captains.
Just talk about the seniors this season and what have they shown on the court from your eyes.
The seniors that play, we already talked about Eric. Eric doesn't leave the court, hasn't left the court for us in 2 years. We'd be lost without Eric, like I said. And another senior who doesn't leave the court for us either is Ben Poehler, who's a transfer from Sweden. His dad played here in '91, and he lives with his grandparents doing an overseas year here in Burlington. And again, he's another invaluable guy for us. What he's doing is really hard. All these other guys played for me 3-4 years, been at camps, know our system. He's had to figure it out on the fly within a month. Super skilled basketball player, great kid, doing amazing in the classroom. He's just been an absolute pleasure, and I think he's going to explode the last half of the season. As far as other guys who are contributing, unfortunately, Aiden Hayes. He has a injury, and he's been injured. He's had terrible injury luck. He would have had a great career had he not constantly had ankle issues. He's back on the shelf with the same ankle injury that's hurt him last year, hurt him this year. So I feel terrible for him, because an amazing kid who works really hard, deserves better, but unfortunately in basketball, it happens. And he's got a bad ankle. And then a new addition to the team this year who's been a great addition would be Isaiah Burley. And I think he got cut 2 or 3 times previously, but he came in this year much better, worked really hard, and he's been a great member of the team.
Just talk about Eric and Seti and how they've been leaders on your team.
I think that when I address the captains, that kind of covers that. But Seti's more of a lead by example guy. He's a quiet leader, and probably the hardest worker in the gym. So that just filters down to the other kids. Eric is a little bit louder with the way he can lead verbally. But again, he's a guy who works relentlessly at his game, has gotten so much better. Both of them could not shoot when they came into here, and now they're some of the top shooters in the state and the league as far as their percentage and their makes and how many they make, and it just shows the work they put in. And just lucky to have those 2, really lucky.
What are your expectations from them?
First off, we want to finish the league. Right now, we haven't lost in the league. We've never won. We've won the small side of it a bunch of years here, but we've never won. Never been what would be considered the best team in the entire Middlesex League. We would definitely would like to get that distinction by the end of the year. And we want to make another playoff run. And every game right now is to seeding. Last year being home, those 3 playoff games helped immensely. We're very good here, so we want to improve our seeding so we can make another run.
Just talk about preparations on and off the court.
Preparation out of season really is how much kids put into it. Those guys got to prepare as far as being able to, a massive thing for us is, simply if you can't shoot, you can't defend, it'll be hard to play here. And all the guys have become better shooters, better ball handlers. better defenders, and in-season preparation, we're heavily involved in what the other team does, knowing personnel, know what each guy does, take away. We always say don't allow guys to do what they do best. So each game going in, we should know all 5 guys, not just your own personal assignment, but everyone, in case there's a switch, who you got. And now that's a lot of film work. We do a lot of film work on our own. What do we do wrong? What do we do right? Finding our mistakes. It's a game of who makes the least mistakes. So we like to chart our own personal mistakes, talk about it on Sunday in the film room, and say, what are your mistakes? How do we fix that? What's the solution? That type of preparation, and just trying to get a little better every day.
When the season's over, what are you going to miss from this year's team?
I don't even want to think about when the season's over. We want to extend it as long as possible. I know last year I had quite the. It was really sad having it end that way. It ended in that biggest stakes game, and seeing the pain in the kids' eyes in the locker room, and that hurt. We're trying to avoid that for as long as we can.
What are you going to miss from the seniors?
I mean, a kid like Eric and Ben and those kids, beyond their talent, which they have, is their work ethic and how much they're willing to put on the line for Burlington High, and how they've led this program. And I'm going to be, just like last year when Shane and Logan left, it was heartbreaking to see those guys go. They come back now. They're at all our games, at our practices, kind of have a family atmosphere, but once they're not playing for you, it will hurt you, and I'll miss everything.
What do you hope to take away at the end of the season?
It's the relationships that you build, right? Like, Kyle, both my assistant coaches have played for me here, and the relationships that you build through basketball, that's the best part of it. And hopefully those relationships last forever. And like we said, we kind of get a family thing going here after 6-7 years.
How have the players looked up to you?
I just hope to be a good remote. Well, I want to show them the deal is I'll work hard, you work hard. Keep it as simple as that. I'll do everything I can to help us. If within my power, you do everything within your power. But I don't, as far as looking up to me or whatever, just working hard.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this season.
Thanks, Anthony.
Let's check out this month's Player Spotlight with our captains.
Hi, my name is Eric Sekyaya.
And I'm Cedric Rodriguez.
And this is the Player Spotlight. This is definitely fun. Definitely a close-knit guys. Guys have been around for a long time. And the team's great. Knowing the end goal is, we all know what the end goal is, and we're working at that.
This year is going to be a good year. We lost a lot from last year, but we're getting better every day at practice.
Just being around it for my whole life. I mean, watching the Celtics with my parents, it just rubbed off on me, and I eventually just decided to play it.
Just playing since I was a kid, I always knew it's something I wanted to do when I get older, and it is, and I'm playing right now, and I love it.
Definitely great. They prepare us every day, keep us sharp, and ready for our games.
Yeah, Coach is a great coach. He knows the game so well. He just teaches us every day about new things we never knew about. And I can't wait for this rest of the season with him.
Great kids, great players. They work really hard. I can count on them. The best thing about how they are always accountable for their actions. Obviously super talented. Are both humble too, which is another thing. As good at players as they are, they could walk around here like they're better than other guys, and they don't. They bring guys up instead of bringing them down, and they're an absolute pleasure.
Definitely a fun group of guys. We all have our inside jokes, keep each other in a good manner and happy, and it's great.
Yeah, we're always competing with each other at practice, and outside of practice, we're just always laughing with each other, making jokes and stuff like that.
Definitely stay undefeated to win the league and hopefully go far in a state tournament.
Yeah, we want to make another state tournament run, go even further this year.
I'm here with the basketball captains. Gentlemen, are we good today? Are we good?
Yeah.
We're good. How'd you get involved with basketball?
I think it was just being around the sport, watching it. I mean, I watched the Celtics with my mom and my dad all the time, and eventually gave it a shot.
For me, I was kind of like Eric, always around the game. In my apartment complex, there's a basketball court, and like I would just always watch the older guys playing, and I knew I loved the game. Just wanted to always play when I was older.
What do you like about it?
The best part for me is definitely the fact that even if you're not tall or strong, there's always something you can work on. Like Coach always says, you can't change your athleticism. You could do little to nothing to do about your athleticism, but you can get your shot straight. You could be a knockdown shooter, and that's valuable in the game.
Yeah, kind of like what Eric said, like it's probably like the hardest sport to be good at. So like it takes a lot of work, and I'm always up for a challenge, so that's what I liked about it.
Just talk about being the captains of this team this year.
Being captain is definitely a big thing, especially with a team that's expected to go far. Leading by example and leading by what you do is a big part of that.
Yeah, I take pride in leading by example. I feel like if you can work so hard, that will like show all like the younger kids and even like the kids your age and even older kids, like that will push them to work harder as well too.
How has the team looked up to you guys?
I think the teams just in shooting drills, just the little things like shooting drills when me and Cedric are competing, screaming out numbers, going at each other. I think you just kind of see that and go at it the same way we do.
Yeah, kind of like I said earlier, just like leading by example, and like Eric said, competing in practice is just it's gonna be good for the future of the team.
Any opponents you're looking forward to this season?
Arlington. Last year we kind of got them when they were short and they're hurt and sick, and this year they're looking better, and it should be a good game.
Yeah, Arlington, Wakefield is good this year. They're gonna be a challenge for us in our Freedom League. And I like Westford. I want to get revenge because they beat us in overtime last year. So definitely Westford too.
Just talk about the atmosphere of the fans when you go out there and perform on the court.
It's definitely electric. The fans is definitely a huge part of what we do. Going out there, being able to pressure the ball all game long, and it just gives you a different type of energy.
Yeah, like last year, I feel like the fans played a big part besides like our obviously skill basketball-wise, having those 3 home games and having all the people like the Burlington High School and even the Burlington community out there. It was definitely a huge part.
What's it like working with Coach Connors?
It's amazing. I mean, he prepares us for every game. We're never going any game blind, and I think that's huge. Having that advantage, like mentally over a team, where you know you're prepared before you even step foot on the court or even get a ball in the basket is huge.
Similar. He taught me so much, and just the way he sees the game of basketball. He's a great basketball mind, and he continues to teach me every day about stuff I haven't learned before.
How have you looked up to him over the years?
I've looked up to him every single year. I've been around him for 4 years, and it's like he's teaching me something new every year. I mean, when I was a freshman, just bringing me into the system, teaching me things I didn't know, helping me get a shot. It's just the little things and it's just I look up to him so much.
Yeah, my freshman year was the COVID year, so I didn't really like get to spend as much time as I did these past 2 years. So definitely, I've learned so much from him.
What has been the most challenging part from this season?
Definitely losing our first game and the energy in the gym after that. I mean, the day before during the practice, we didn't have much energy going into the game, and it translated, and we got clipped. We lost. That
game, they outplayed us, out-toughed us. That was definitely one of like the lowlights of the season, and hopefully we never have to go through something like that again.
What are your main goals personally for the remainder of the season?
Definitely either get league MVP or league all-star again. That would be a huge thing.
Yeah, but I want to try to get that MVP too, all conference maybe.
What have been your favorite moments from your 4 years on the team?
Definitely just the playoff runs. There's nothing like the state tournament. Coach says it every year. When the state tournament rolls around, he gives us this little spiel. There's nothing better than it. My freshman year, even being a part of that, I was on the bench, but even being like around that environment was the best. Same with last year, just nothing like it.
Yeah, my freshman year was the COVID year, obviously, so there wasn't really that many. There was no tournament, and so obviously the last year's team was just one of the best teams I've been a part of, and I hope we can do something like that again.
What are you going to miss from the team when you leave, Eric?
Definitely how close we are. I've been around these guys even before, hanging out with them all off season. We've been together, playing out Wildwood, playing out every park, playing in games. Just how close you are. That's definitely what I'm gonna miss.
Cedric, you have one more year. What are you going to miss from the seniors?
Definitely playing with Eric. I've been playing with him since like elementary school, so me and him have been like have a great bond, great connection. Gonna miss playing with Ben and just like the seniors that are here right now.
Eric, do you have any plans for college?
So I'm not sure where I'm going yet, but I am going on scholarship for running wherever I am going.
Cedric, have you started planning out college?
A little bit. Still a junior, so I'm not really like locked in on that right now. So I'm still seeing my options.
So you're planning on track for the future,
Yes.
and Cedric, you're planning on basketball.
Yes, definitely want to play basketball. in
D1,
college.
D2.
We'll see whatever the opportunity is.
What
Hopefully
do you
D1.
hope to take away, the both of you, from this season?
I hope to take away just the bond we have. I mean, and hopefully us going far, and that'll mean everything to me.
Just the friendships and like it's a family. We try to be a family every year and hopefully make another deep tournament run.
Good to hear. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Good luck. That's it for this month of BNEWS Sports Hub. I'd like to thank my guests and head coach Phil Connors and captains Eric Sekyaya and Cedric Rodriguez. I also want to thank you all for watching. I'm Anthony Matos, and we'll see you next time on BNEWS Sports Hub.